Welcome, chosen ones of the Lord. Legends are not born, they are revealed through each divine moment crafted by God Himself. Picture this: a room filled with whispers, curious glances, and restless souls trying to make sense of you. Not because of what you've said, but because of the undeniable truth they sense about you. The atmosphere is alive with questions. Who are you? What sets you apart? And why can't they stop being drawn to your light? Here's a truth straight from the heart of creation. Humanity craves answers. It's why we seek the mysteries of the unknown, why we immerse ourselves in stories of redemption and purpose, and why we can't turn away from the fingerprints of God. Right now, you are that mystery, a living testament to His work, a beacon that captivates without effort. Your silence? It's not emptiness, it's strategy. It's the moment in a symphony when the music pauses, making the next note unforgettable. Imagine this. As they try to piece together your story, they don't realize they're witnessing God's masterpiece. You're not just a person walking this earth, you're a reflection of His divine plan, a story they can't unravel, yet are desperate to understand. The power of intrigue lies not in what is said, but in what is left unsaid. Your identity is a puzzle shaped by God's hands, and their inability to solve it only amplifies the wonder. They feel the shift in the air when you walk into a room, a quiet echo of something extraordinary. It's not about arrogance, it's about the humility of letting God speak through the spaces you leave unfilled. People hunger for clarity, but you, chosen one, exist beyond their understanding. Like the ways of the Lord, your life defies categorization. They want to box you in, to name you, to reduce you. But you stand as a reflection of God's boundless power, refusing to conform. This is not an act of pride, it's an act of obedience. You let the Father's work speak for itself, knowing that explanations dilute the profound. Every glance they cast, every theory they form, every question they ask, it all points back to Him. You are the mirror they didn't know they needed, showing them not just glimpses of your journey, but revelations of their own hearts. And as they continue to ponder, to analyze, to wonder, they're unknowingly drawn closer to the source of your strength, God Himself. You are a story, chosen one, written by the Creator, unfolding in His perfect time. The beauty of it all is that you don't need to finish the sentences or fill in the gaps. They're already captivated. And in the silence, in the wonder, they find Him. That's your gift, the mystery they can't unravel, but also can't ignore. Success, for the chosen ones, doesn't require explanation. It radiates from everything you touch. You don't have to justify yourself because your actions speak volumes. Every step you take, every decision you make, leaves behind an undeniable mark, a ripple effect that lingers even when you're not there. Your impact is woven into conversations and decisions, becoming the subject of fascination and obsession. The proof is in the results you leave behind, not in the explanations you withhold. The world craves clarity, demands reasons, but you don't give them that satisfaction. Instead, you create intrigue, a mystery that captivates and consumes them. Explanations are for those who seek validation, but the chosen don't need such things. Your success is self-evident, a testimony in itself. And here's the paradox. The less you reveal, the more they want to know. They analyze, overthink, and scramble to connect the dots, all while you stand firm in the truth that your results speak louder than any words ever could. What truly haunts them is the how. How do you achieve the impossible without following their rules, without playing by the book? They try to reverse engineer your path, to uncover the secret steps that led to your triumphs. But here's the beauty of it. They can't. The real work, the sacrifices, the risks you've taken remain hidden, known only to you and the one who guides you. While others clamor for attention, broadcasting their every move, you remain silent, letting the fruits of your labor declare the victory. And this silence doesn't diminish your achievements. It magnifies them, turning them into legends whispered about but never fully understood. And then there's this truth. They don't envy you for what you have. They envy the essence of who you are. It's not your achievements, your possessions, or your victories that consume them. It's the way you move through the world. You exude something intangible, something they cannot replicate no matter how hard they try. It's not luck, nor is it privilege. It's something deeper, something rooted in divine purpose. Your confidence, your energy, your perspective, it all flows from a source they cannot access. They're haunted not by what you've achieved, but by what you embody. They hate, but not for the reasons they say. Their frustration isn't with you, it's with their own limitations. You represent the freedom, the faith, the fearlessness they lack. They might never admit it, but every glance, every word, every bitter remark is a reflection of their own insecurities. And here's the most ironic part. Their obsession has made them your greatest followers. They watch, they wonder, they wait for your next move. Without even trying, you've turned skeptics into spectators, doubters into devotees. They can't look away because what they truly crave isn't to understand you. It's to possess even a fragment of the light within you. The chosen don't chase admiration. It comes naturally, drawn like moths to a flame. You are the mystery they can't solve, the presence they can't escape, and the truth they cannot deny. The beauty of your path lies in its simplicity. You're not seeking to impress anyone, you're simply living in alignment with your purpose. Yet they can't tear their eyes away. There's an effortless magnetism in how you move, a pull they cannot resist. While they scramble to hustle for attention, exhausting themselves in the process, you command it naturally. This contrast drives them mad, but it also fuels the narrative surrounding you. Every word they speak about you, every thought they entertain about your next move, magnifies your presence beyond anything you could orchestrate yourself. The irony is undeniable. Their obsession becomes the vehicle for your influence. Whether they twist your story or marvel at it, they spread it further, ensuring your light reaches places you've never even considered. You never asked for their attention. They handed it to you, willingly, and now they can't reclaim it. You've become the central figure in their lives, the unexpected twist in their story. And the best part, you've done it all by simply staying true to your calling. Your victories are built on strategies they can't comprehend, let alone predict. You're not just playing the game better, you're playing a game they didn't even know existed. While they cling to their outdated playbooks, you've already rewritten the rules. By the time they think they've caught up, you've executed moves that leave them scrambling once again. This isn't about luck, it's about vision. Where others see dead ends, you see opportunities. Your moves, unconventional as they may seem, always pay off, leaving them in awe of how you make the impossible look so effortless. They study your steps, hoping to replicate your success, but they miss the essence of it. Your path isn't defined by trends or patterns. It's carved out of creativity, strategy, and an ability to adapt faster than anyone else. Their frustration lies in their inability to box you in. You operate outside the limits they impose on themselves, in a space they can't even conceive. While they're reacting to a version of you that no longer exists, you're already setting the stage for what comes next. And then there's your energy, magnetic, unpredictable, and undeniably captivating. It's not something you consciously project, it's simply who you are. Your presence shifts the atmosphere, drawing people in before they even understand why. It's not about charm or superficial traits, it's about the intangible force that surrounds you. They feel it when you walk into a room, in the way you carry yourself, and in the way you see the world. Your unpredictability isn't chaos, it's a calculated brilliance that keeps everyone guessing. They're addicted to the mystery of you. You're the enigma they can't solve, the story they can't stop retelling. You don't try to be the center of attention, it happens naturally, and that's why they keep coming back, drawn to the unexpected twists you bring to the narrative of life. You're not just a character in their story, you are the story. Your energy is magnetic because it's alive, unpredictable, and unforgettable. Even you don't always know what's coming next, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's untamed, raw, and impossible to ignore, a force that moves through every space you inhabit. It's not something you consciously project, it's simply who you are. This energy of yours shifts the atmosphere, creating a ripple that draws people in and leaves them captivated. It's not chaos. It's the kind of vitality that demands attention without ever asking for it. Respect is not something you demand. It's something you command. It's not in the words you speak or the actions you take alone. It's in the very essence of your being. The way you carry yourself with quiet confidence and unshakable certainty shifts the dynamics of every room you enter. When you walk in, there's an unspoken pause. Conversations falter for a split second, and all eyes instinctively turn toward you. You don't ask for this attention. It's drawn to you as if by a natural law. This isn't about arrogance or theatrics. You don't seek to be loud or visible. Instead, your presence exudes an unspoken authority, a quiet power that commands respect effortlessly. People sense it. They know that you don't rely on their approval to feel significant, and that sets you apart. This quiet assurance makes them take notice, even if they can't fully explain why. Respect that's demanded is often fleeting, born from obligation rather than admiration. But respect that's commanded, it's genuine, rooted in the way you move through the world. It's in your ability to lead without controlling, to influence without dominating. This unsettles those around you because they're used to people chasing recognition, bending over backward to prove their worth. But you don't chase, you don't bend, and you certainly don't explain yourself. Your actions, your presence, and your very being speak louder than words ever could. People find themselves drawn into your orbit, adjusting their own dynamics to align with you. That's the power of respect that's commanded. It's effortless, undeniable, and rooted in authenticity. You don't have to force it, it simply exists because of who you are. You don't just push limits, you shatter them entirely. While others operate within boundaries, measuring their progress against what's been done before, you're out there creating new possibilities. Your achievements aren't a product of luck or timing, they're the inevitable result of someone who refuses to accept limits. When others say, "This is as far as you can go," you respond with, "Watch me." You don't just break barriers, you destroy them and rebuild something entirely new from the fragments. Every accomplishment forces people to rethink what they've always considered the maximum. What once seemed impossible becomes routine in your hands. They marvel at your success, searching for a formula or secret to replicate it. But the truth is, there's no formula. Your achievements stem from a mindset that refuses to accept impossible as an answer. Your success isn't just extraordinary, it's a paradigm shift. Every time you push past a limit, you force others to confront their own comfort zones. You make them question everything they thought they knew, challenging the rules they've lived by and the fears they've clung to. You redefine what's possible, not just for yourself, but for everyone watching. And then there's the truth they can't stand. They need you. They hate to admit it, but they do. It gnaws at their pride because they've spent so long pretending they had it all figured out. Yet here you are, showing them a new way, proving that the impossible is nothing more than a choice to be overcome. You're not just breaking boundaries, you're rewriting the rules. And in doing so, you've become the standard they never saw coming and can't ignore. The truth they struggle to accept is that the key to their next level has always been in your hands. You've become the catalyst for their ambitions, the driving force they can't quite live without. Even though they might pretend to be indifferent, perhaps even critical deep down, they know the reality. You're the spark that fuels their drive, the benchmark they measure themselves against, whether they realize it or not. It's not admiration, it's necessity. Your existence presents them with a challenge, a source of inspiration, and the pressure they need to keep pushing forward. And while they're busy resenting you, even hating you, they're also quietly watching. They're comparing their progress to yours, hoping that someday they'll get close to what you've achieved. But what frustrates them the most is this: they can't do it without you. You're not just an influence passing through their lives, you're essential. Without your example, your energy, and your achievements, they'd be stuck, circling the same stagnant waters. No matter how much they try to distance themselves, they can't ignore the truth. They need what you bring to the table to move forward. It's a bitter pill to swallow, the realization that the person they envy the most is also the one they cannot afford to lose sight of. They rely on you to keep them hungry, to remind them of what's possible, and to challenge them to rise above their own limitations. It's a dependency they'd never admit, but it lingers beneath the surface every time they watch you succeed. They wonder quietly and relentlessly how they can get a piece of what you've built. But the obsession doesn't stop there. What drives them even crazier is your indifference. You don't chase their validation, nor do you seek their approval or attention. That freedom, that self-sufficiency, is like a fortress they cannot breach. They're used to people vying for their recognition, bending over backward for acknowledgement. But you're different. You don't need them, and that's what makes you untouchable. They crave your approval, not because they want to impress you, but because they know how valuable it is. Yet, when you withhold it, when you refuse to give them the satisfaction of knowing they've impacted you, it's like an itch they can't scratch. They desperately try to provoke a reaction, to get under your skin. But no matter how hard they try, they fail. And that drives them mad. The power lies in your ability to remain unshaken. Their efforts don't affect you the way your presence affects them. You're in control because you don't rely on anyone else to define your worth. While they scramble to figure out where they stand with you, you've already moved on, living your life with purpose and focus. Your indifference isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the kind of unshakable confidence that stems from knowing exactly who you are and what you're about. And that's what makes them obsess. They can't crack you, they can't predict you, and that's why they'll never stop watching.